Hi, yeah. Let's talk. Let's talk Bitcoin. Yeah. Ugh, I always forget we need to use this chart, BitMEX chart. What do I have drawn on here before I clear it off? Okay. So yeah, this is what we were talking about having a third push down yesterday to the bottom of this channel. Looks like we didn't get it. Looks like we broke out. Um, and exactly kind of what we were talking about. Once we break out of this channel, we'll probably take a shot at this high near the start of the channel. We didn't quite make it back there. And at that point, usually you'll have a double top bear flag that sends us back down to retest the bottom of the channel. So we kind of have something like that going on as we speak. Meanwhile, let me just clear off these drawings. Meanwhile, the daily chart is not looking very pretty. Putting in yet another inside bar. I suppose that's one of the better things that could happen for bulls because now we have an inside, a breakout in either direction is possible. We could very easily just pump above this next candle and then we would have a long position with a stop right here underneath this the low of this candle, and then yeah, we would be targeting probably 65 or 66K region again. And that would put in, another high above this. But this is now 3 consecutive red candles, assuming this closes below the 61.4 region. Bulls definitely would like to try and close it above that region, obviously, so that we can try and get some sort of like continuation of maybe another third push up. I think, like we had said yesterday, we're in a clear channel and we're kind of near the low of that channel, so might be a reasonable time to start looking for some buys. As far as the 4-hour chart goes, still respecting this trend line, even after the pop, even after this pop through this channel. What did we have? We had this spike in channel, right? This was the spike, this was the channel. That seems to have resolved itself. So the spike and channel is pretty much done here. And we had the double top bear flag that pushed us back down to the low. So we can be done with this, but still holding this trend line. So bulls really need to break through the trend line and start showing some sustained buying power and force above the trend line. We are at the bottom of this region. We do have this trend line broken, right? And retest of this low. So if bulls can sustain this strength that they're putting in right here on this 4-hour chart, on this 4-hour candle right now, on the next candle to try and break above it and push towards the high of this trend line, I think that would, if they can stay above this region, and the high right now of this candle, by the way, is above the open for the daily candle. So if we could break above this high on the next candle, we would be putting in a green daily candle. Still mostly a doji, but a green candle nonetheless. And then we would be attempting, a shot at this high of this channel here, if not further. I think I'm kind of starting to really feel like this type of structure is not really what we want to see for like a push through the top, and certainly a sustained push through the top. Technically, this is a nice little support here, but this is just taking so long to put in the second leg up. And it's happening in such a choppy manner. Like, if we do get a push above this region, that would be the third push to the top of this channel, coinciding with kind of a double top slash potentially lower high situation here. And it's too reasonable for us to just go like this and break down through this level. This isn't what you want to see. Like, usually if you want to see continuation, you want to see this kind of thing. And I wouldn't say that this is the same as this. Kind of looks similar, but this is just so flat. See how flat this is? Like, here you want to have newer moves, bigger and better moves. Like this is all just flat, and it still happens to be within a pretty well-respected trading range for a long time, with only couple um, with only a couple minor deviations. We've remained in this channel or in this horizontal trading range for such a long time that it doesn't make sense. Like when you have such a horizontal trading range, it's not making too much sense to be buying above the top of the trading range, because it's just so likely that if we try and break out of the trading range, we're just going to break back in. It's very it's a tight trading range. It's almost barbed wiry. Let's actually take a look on like a weekly chart. This is the exact definition of barbed wire, Um, these three disgusting sideways doji candles. And yeah, we're looking for some sort of resolution here that might be able to break us out of this region. But I think if we close anywhere between this low and this high, and especially if we close especially if we can't even break above the 64,341 region in the next 2 days and 5 hours, I would not expect any sort of push out of the region to be really confidence building. I would think that anything could potentially fail pretty reasonably. So just still watching this on the daily. Of course, we're looking at 2 legs down. Of course, we're looking at 2 legs up. And now bears are trying to start the next 2 legs down. If they're unable to start it, we get another leg up, possibly have the double top, and then they can start it after 1, 2, 3 pushes to the upside that fail to break above this, but even, especially if we put in a double top here and fail to break above that, like that would be pretty bearish, I would think. Like if, for example, this candle closed as is, the next candle broke above here, just like this candle did, and then did the exact same thing. Next candle is like no follow through, no follow through, no follow through. Eventually it's going to dump. But for now, I think cautiously, I don't want to say bullish because we're not quite bullish, but we are hoping and looking for a potential buy since we are kind of near the low of all of these ranges, right? We're at the low of this channel, so we're hoping to find some sort of bounce play. We're at the low of, or we're near the low rather, I guess, of this box. Not quite there. That would be probably a little bit further down, maybe $1,000 lower. Maybe we have a bounce and then a bounce back into the thing. That would be pretty good for both of these, like this kind of thing. That would be good for both of these channels, both of these ranges. And the main thing that is holding us bearish is this trend line, but at the same time, we are inside bar of this bar, I believe. Is this, I don't know when the frickin' days are. Yeah, kind of, so not quite. We're inside bar here, which is inside bar of here, which is an inside bar of this low. So still respecting, and of course, right, I wish I could just delete all this stuff. Remember this is where it all started, this outside up bar. This is also a trading range that we're attempting to respect. So probably maybe a buy down in this area if we find some sort of good bounce pattern play. Of course, we could be double bottoming here and looking for potentially some start to push up here. But yeah, we do have this trend line still coming down, so I would think that we might get a rejection here and still get like a pullback opportunity to second entry long, to get long and then go up like this, maybe looking for a double top here. I think that would be pretty reasonable. I think there's certainly enough space on this side of the trend line that if we're able to break above it and out and get a nice retest, we should be going for the highs here and have a tradable long. Otherwise, I'm not so sure if we're looking at any particularly tradable shouts. This obviously is looking nice. 2 legs down, and then now we're having this channel. Oh, did we recognize this channel? I do believe we did recognize this channel, but we haven't really talked about it here. Oops. Ugh, wow, you get both of them, huh? We kind of have this channel here. So yet another confluence point that lines up with possibly taking a trade in this region, in this area, along and pushing it up. But yeah, I think as long as we continue to respect this trend line, it is probably theoretically more bearish, because bears should be looking to take this level. You know, if we keep bouncing here, like, it should be pretty easy to get to this level. So definitely need to be watching this. I think on the 1 day time frame, your entry is pretty clear. Short underneath this line, stop out above this line, and vice versa. On this II, it's pretty simple, right? You don't really have much to do. You just take the trades as they appear. It is dangerous to take trades inside this region. Inside this area, it's dangerous. But as we can see, like, there is a room enough to make money, 3% within this region. So we can try and take trades within this area, but you don't get much confirmation or much confidence until we're able to break out of this II. The worst thing we could do would be put in a third inside bar here that chops, and you're not prepared for it, and you end up stopping yourself out using stops within this range. So stops kind of have to be outside of this range is really what makes the most sense, I think. So yeah, that is our analysis on the daily and the 4 hour. On the 1 hour time frame, we're obviously looking at this trend line got broken, retesting this low and trying to put in a double bottom. And this last candle was pretty strong. It was a good break above this region. So now we're going to look for a retest and see how that goes. See if it can hold this level, or if we're going to continue downward, which is absolutely possible. Let's see what it looks like on the 15-minute. Yeah, on the 15-minute, it's kind of looking like a strong rejection, and possibly looking like, I mean, this bears are activating a short here to take us to the low again here. So we'll have to see how that how this short plays out. But I think with all of this buying strength in this region, I think that if we do get a lower low test here, if we do kind of go like this, I would be pretty surprised to not see bulls try and bring it back, especially with 1 push down, 2 push down, and a strong, I mean, kind of strong on both, right? Like, I would say this is reasonably strong as well, what bulls were able to do here. They didn't really make money necessarily, because they're probably not buying at the exact bottom here and selling at the exact top. They're probably looking for signals like in this area kind of thing. And again, they haven't been able to make money, but after 2 pushes where they try and reverse it, another push down, trying and reversing it, probably is going to result in bulls making some sort of money. And once bulls start making money, we can start thinking about pushing back towards the top of this range. Okay, that's all I got for now. Thanks.